Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Anderson,
My name is James.
and this is Off the Record podcast. Today we got a lot of stuff going on. First, we are going to be doing our very early NFL records after the schedule release. Then we will be doing an examination of the conference finals, and then finally we'll do a hot take segment where we will be debating. So we're gonna get straight into it. James, you're gonna start us off with your picks for the NFL season.
All right, we'll start off. We're going to go AFC, and we'll obviously go NFC, but we'll go AFC North, East, West, and South, and same with the NFC. Anderson will be doing the same. So let's get straight into it. All right, so for the AFC North, I have the Ravens winning that division. They're going to go 14-3. Then I have the Bengals and Steelers tying at 9-8, and then I have the Browns sucking again, going 2-15. In the East, I have the Patriots going 10-7, but then I have the Bills actually winning that division, going 13-4. Then I have the Jets going 3-14, sucking again. Same with the Dolphins going 2-15. Then we'll go to the West. We got the Broncos winning that division, going 14-3. Chiefs 10-7, Chargers 10-7, and a little bit of an up year for rookie Fernando Mendoza, 7-10. Excuse me. So good start for the Raiders with Mendoza. It'll be a bounce back year for them. Then we got the AFC South. So we have the Texans winning that division, going 11-6. Then we have the Jags going second, going 10-7. We have the Colts having a down year, 6-11. Finally, we have the Titans going 3-14. In the NFC North, I have the Lions winning that division, 14-3. Packers, 12-5. Bears, 11-6. Vikings, 7-10. So a very good year for the NFC North again. In the East, I have the Eagles going 12-5. Then I have the Commanders going 10-7. Then I have the Giants, first year under John Harbaugh, going 8-9. Then I have the Cowboys going 5-12. In the West, I have the Rams going 13-4, along with the Seahawks. Then I have the 49ers going 11-6. Then I have a crappy Cardinals team going 2-15. Finally, in the NFC South, I have the Panthers winning that division, going 9-8. Bucks 7-10. Falcons 5-12. And finally, the New Orleans Saints going 13-4. Anderson?
13-4 or 4-13?
4-13. 3-14. Excuse me.
I was like, wow. Okay, so I will be going in order of which division had the highest playoff team. So first, we will be starting with the AFC South. I have the Texans with the number 1 seed at 13-4. I have the Jaguars barely missing out on the playoffs at 10-7. I have the Colts going 6-11, and then I have the Titans with Cam Ward going 2-15. I actually think that the Titans will improve, and I think you're going to see Cam Ward do better. My problem with the Titans is that I just don't see them having any major firepower besides obviously Cam Ward that is going to lead to them being able to win games.
Also, their schedule, it's a tough one. That's why I asked.
Yeah, that is true. Then for the AFC East, I have the Bills winning the division at 12-5. They would be the 2nd seed. I have the Patriots 12-5 with the 5th seed. I have the Dolphins going 2-15 and the Jets going 2-15. They will split their series. I then in the AFC North, I have the Ravens going 12-5, winning the division with the 3rd seed. I have the Bengals going 12-5 with the 6th seed. And surprisingly, I have the Steelers going 4-13.
Wow.
I know that's kind of crazy to me. And then I have the Browns going 3-14. And then finally in the AFC West, I have the Chargers winning the division at 11-6. I have the Chiefs winning the division. I have the Chiefs with the 7th seed at 11-6. I have the Broncos at 10-7, and then I have the Raiders at 3-14. I think Mendoza will do good, but I don't think he will be enough to propel the Ashton Genty and the rest of this Raiders squad to real success.
Broncos missing the playoffs?
We'll talk about it later. Then the NFC. We have this is the NFC West. We have the Rams going 13-4 with the 1st seed. The Seahawks going 12-5 with the 6th seed. The 49ers going 12-5 with the 7th seed. And the Cardinals going 2-15. Then in the NFC North, we have the Lions at the second seed with 13 and 4. We have the Bears going with the fifth seed with 12 and 5. We have the Packers going 11 and 6, missing the playoffs barely. And then the Vikings going 5 and 12. I think the Vikings won't actually be that bad this year. They have a really good division, and I had to give them. I had them losing every single game in their division. I don't see any team losing to them. Then in the NFC West, the East, sorry. I have the Commanders having a bounce back here, going 11 and 6 and having the third seed. I have the Eagles missing the playoffs at 11 and 6. I have the Cowboys going 9 and 8, and then I have the Giants going 6 and 11. Then finally in the NFC South, I have the Panthers going 9 and 8. I have the winning division of the 4th seed. I have the Falcons going 8 and 9. I have the Saints going 7 and 10, and I have the Bucks going 6 and 11. It is a straight down. So with that, do you have anything to say about my predictions, James?
Yeah, I mean, it's surprising. Now we're going to talk about our predictions, but I mean, surprising how you have the Bucks, first off, going 6 and 11. I want you to explain that a little bit.
Sure. So I have the Bucks with a 2 and 4 division record. I see the Panthers obviously taking a step forward.
Yeah.
I only gave them one extra win, but they do have a much harder schedule due to the fact that they won the division.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're going to take care of some of these division games. I have them 5 and 1 in the division. I think I'll have them lose to the Falcons away. I also see the Falcons being a legitimate threat. They have a very good offense, and if Penix does play well, or Tua, who probably won't start, but plays well, they actually could be a playoff.
Yeah, I agree.
Same with the Saints. Shuck showed really good last year.
Yeah.
And I think that while the Saints I have at 7 and 10, just because I don't think they're as good as the Panthers and Falcons, I still think that they can do a lot. And then with that, the Bucks, there's not really a lot of room. They, Mike Evans, is not there anymore. And that's going to be a major blow, especially in the culture. So I just don't really see them being able to do much. I still think Baker will play well, though.
All right. So, you got anything for me?
Okay. We're going to go into...
I guess he doesn't have anything for me.
Oh, sorry. Actually, I do have something for you. I thought that you wanted me to go. My main thing that I have for you is that what compels you to say that the Patriots will miss the playoffs at 10 and 7?
Oh, the Patriots? Well, first off, his a little bit different than mine, so I don't know if the Patriots could be missing or not.
I calculated you'd miss the Patriots would miss the playoffs in yours. You have, I believe, 7 teams over 11 and 6.
All right, I'm just gonna take a half second.
While he's doing that, I will just quickly go over.
Oh no, the Patriots would make the playoffs.
They would? Okay.
Yeah, they'd be coming at the 7th seed.
Okay, well, why?
The Chiefs would be missing.
Yeah, okay, that's then.
Because the Patriots would be beating the Chiefs.
You really think that the Patriots will beat the Chiefs in Monday Night Football in Arrowhead?
I do. I think...
Even I have the Patriots losing that game. Okay.
Okay, so the big thing to me is the Chiefs, Mahomes, down year. Kelsey, down year. This whole team is starting to get old, and now it's finally... Last year they showed they were terrible. Even with the Mahomes, they wouldn't have made the playoffs, obviously. Even if they won out, they wouldn't be making the playoffs. So, the Chiefs, they're starting to regress. Honestly, I'm generous. I'm giving them 10 and 7. But this year, it's going to be a killer year for the Chiefs. And it might be time for them to start rebuilding. I think they'll keep Mahomes.
What are you talking about?
But I think everyone else might be going.
That's funny. Okay. I think that's crazy that you're going to say that a team that made the Super Bowl 2 years ago has to rebuild. I mean, they only really went 6 and 11.
But you saw them last year. You saw them last year.
True, but the problem with last year was they ran out of their, fight, right? After they lost that Super Bowl, a lot of their players are getting older.
Exactly.
They're
that's what I'm
not
saying.
having. Yeah, I know, but like they lost their fight. The Chiefs now are angry. The main thing that made the Chiefs so good
But that's
during those years was they had that fight. Yes, I think that they got bailed out by the refs a lot, but you know what? I'm a Patriots fan and I can't really be talking. So when it comes to the Chiefs' play last year, like I said, it's about that fight. They had it those other years between 2018 and 2024. They lost in 2025, and I think we're going to see it again in 2026. But
That's your opinion. I mean, I don't. I just think the team's getting way too old, man. That's my thing.
I agree with you that Travis Kelce probably isn't even the best tight end on that. Isn't even the best tight end on that team anywhere more. Now we're gonna go into our NBA, into the NBA playoffs. So the main, we'll start with the Lakers versus. We'll start with the Lakers. Sorry, the Knicks versus the Cavs. We'll have it tonight. By the time this episode is released,
Yeah.
It'll either be a 2-0 Knicks or a 1-1 Cavs.
Hopefully 2-0 Knicks.
Yeah, hopefully 2-0.
What
So
a comeback, bro. Let's just start there. Let's just, before we get into anything, Jalen Brunson, Mr. Clutch, came alive in that game, I'll tell you.
38 points, I believe.
38 points, an absolute masterclass from Brunson. Got 11 points in the last 8 minutes of that game. Man, I'll tell you.
Okay, as we mentioned last week, the main stats for the Knicks, they had a pace of 94. They had an EFG percentage of .636. They had a turnover rate of only 12.6. Their offensive rebound rate was at 32.1%, and they had an average of 124 points, 24.3 points per game in the series against the 76ers, where they sweep them. I could see a sweep here. Now, what's gonna happen is I am almost sure that the Knicks will be the Cavs tonight. Then the Cavs are deflated. They're upset.
Oh, yeah.
They lost when they were up 22 points with 7.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. That is ridiculous.
It can't happen, honestly.
You just can't do that. I'm shocked. The Knicks are probably going to win the next game. Then the Cavaliers are going to have their home games. That could revitalize them. I do think a sweep is possible. I think it's likely that it's just going to be a 6-game series.
I agree.
I think that the Cavs will win their game, the first game they're back in their home stadium. Then the second game in Cleveland, they will lose. That'll be a 3-1 Knicks. I think then the Cavs will go into MSG, win a game, and then I think the Knicks will win and go 4-2. Brunson has been playing insane. I mean, he had such a good game yesterday, as James said. Is there anything you want to add here?
I'll do my predictions, but man, it was a crazy game. But for the Cavs, they're gonna have to bounce back, and I think tonight, in MSG, it's gonna be hopping early. Everyone's gonna be psyched because, yesterday or whenever they played 2 days ago, it was crazy. I mean, man, that stadium might have been the loudest stadium.
That was really loud.
I know. I was like, God dang, I couldn't even hear the announcers at some points. But I expect more from this series. It cannot just be Jalen Brunson. A lot of people think, oh, it has to be Jalen Brunson. If they're going to win, it's got to be Jalen Brunson. I said it last week. They got to rely. Cat, he's going to have to step up tonight. Mikal Bridges, got to step up tonight. OG Anunoby, he had a down game. But obviously, injuries kind of killed him. But tonight, he's going to have to lock in. He's going to have to be the most locked in because these players, Cavs are going to be angry. They're going to be angry right out of the gate. So the Knicks have to do the same. Knicks got to be strong out of the gate like the Cavs. Now, I think they'll win this game. I think they might win a game in Cleveland. I think it'll be a 5-game series. Cleveland might win a game at home. Knicks will win a game away. The Knicks come back home, win it. Go to the championship.
Okay. Then now let's simply go on to the Oklahoma Thunder versus the Spurs. OKC had a amazing performance against the Lakers. They had EFG of 0.614. They had a turnover rate of only 12.2, forcing a turnover rate of 17.4. They had a lot better offense than people are going to give them credit for, only allowing 103 points to the Lakers per game. So while I do think what they need to get a slightly higher offensive rebound rate, and that's going to definitely be hard against the Spurs, that's what's really going to kill them. Currently, the series is 1-1. The Spurs, Wemby has been absolutely dominating on defense.
Dominating.
43 points, I believe he scored. It was something in the 40s. In game 1, and obviously, of course, obviously they lost game 2, but 1, there was some ref trouble, and 2, Wemby just came off of one of the greatest playoff games I've ever seen. Like, the Spurs versus OKC conference finals was probably a top 5 playoff game of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And that 3-point shot from Wemby is one of the most clutch things I've ever seen. I mean, how are you 7-5 hitting 3-pointers?
Yeah, godly, man.
So, I mean, Fox has been out the last 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think he was in for game 2, but then Harper was out was out game 2. So you haven't had a fully rest roster. You'll get it eventually. You'll get it soon.
Mm-hmm.
And this is gonna be controversial. I'm gonna go with Spurs in 7.
Spurs in 7. Wow.
I think that the Spurs will be able to win the series in 7 games. Do you want to do your prediction?
Yeah. So, first off, before we get into anything, what is happening? What is start to these whatever you call them, East and West finals, whatever you call them,
Conference finals.
Conference final. What a start! Stephon Castle last night. Did you see that dunk? Oh my God, dunk of the year in my opinion. Anyway, so that was a crazy dunk, bro. But honestly, Wemby playing great, like it. Double overtime, played amazing, clutch. I expect more from SGA, but not really gonna get into that. Unfortunately, though, Spurs are good. It's just not going to be enough. I'm rooting for San Antonio because, honestly, I like Wemby. I like the roster. But I just don't think they're going to be able to pull it out. I think it's going to be OKC in 6. I think they might be able to get a win at home. Maybe 2. It's either going to be 6 or 7. I don't know. It's too tight, but it's going to be OKC, guys. And, unfortunately, I think it's going to be OKC back-to-back years.
Definitely possible. I mean, ref ball always gets in the way.
Yeah.
I would like to mention that it is split in OKC. I believe that they go to...
they're going to go to San Antonio. So, yeah. I mean, we'll see what SGA can do tomorrow. Let's see if he can lock in and get a win at home. But
Not at home away. SGA would be away.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay.
Wemby then.
Yes. Okay. We are now going to go into our hot takes. I will begin with my hot take. We will debate it, and then after we're done debating and then after I go, James will argue his position. I will argue my position back, and then we'll do the same thing. So my hot take, and this was already implied earlier. I think James pointed it out.
Kind of foreshadowing.
I don't think the Denver Broncos will make the playoffs this year. I predicted them to go 10-7, missing the playoffs as the 8th seed. Now, there are a couple of reasons I think this. The main reason is going to be a tougher schedule. Now, that is the biggest hypocritical thing you could possibly say as a Patriot when I'm a Patriots fan.
No, I respect that.
But, and considering that I still have the Patriots making the playoffs. But there's one other combination here that makes the tougher schedule also an issue. The Patriots don't have this issue. It's the fact that the Broncos were 11-2 in one-score games last year. 11-2. If we subtract that by 4 to go from 14-3 to 10-7, which is what I have, they still go 8-6 in one-score games, which is a much more reasonable amount and not horrible. 8-6 isn't horrible for one-score games. It's not. But in this loaded AFC, 10-7 isn't going to get you there. Now, they do have some upside. They have probably the best defense, maybe the second best defense. I probably give the Texans slightly higher nods, but they're first in sacks and second in yards allowed. They do struggle in special teams. They're 21st in special teams, and they have a okay offense. They are 10th in offensive yards per game, and then they're not necessarily high on others, but they're mid-range on other statistics. So if we look at their schedule compared to last year, they have the Chiefs, Jaguars, Rams, 49ers, Chargers, Seahawks, Cardinals, Chiefs again, Panthers, Raiders, Steelers, Dolphins, Jets, Raiders, Bills, Patriots, Chargers. That first couple of games is ludicrous. Then it gets easier in the middle half of the season, and then it rounds out with three very difficult games. I think that they're going to go on a pretty long streak. They're going to probably beat the Cardinals. I think that they'll beat the Chiefs at least once. And then they'll probably beat the Panthers, the Raiders, the Steelers, the Dolphins, the Jets, and the Raiders. They might lose one of those games, but I think overall they'll win most of those games. The problem here is then they have the Chiefs in week 1, they have the Jaguars, they have the Rams, they have the 49ers, they have the Chargers twice, and they have the Bills and Patriots. You are going to lose one of the games I mentioned earlier, and you're going to lose a lot of these games. The Broncos, as I said, easy strength of schedule, very good defense. Defense can't get you when your quarterback is mid.
Mm-hmm.
Bo Nix is the 20th best quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
You agree with that?
Yeah, I do. I 100% agree with that, actually.
Okay. But do you disagree with my take?
100%. The Broncos. Oh, well, there's something that I agree about it, something that I disagree about it. Number 1, I believe their offensive coordinator, did he leave?
I don't think so, no.
Did their defensive coordinator leave?
I don't think so, no.
So both of those guys stayed. I'm not entirely sure. But I'm 90% sure the defensive guy left. Not entirely sure about the offensive guy. However, this...
Vic Fangio?
Yeah. Not entirely sure. Again, not entirely sure. But if they did, I would probably agree. But
either way, even if they didn't, and I'll even go on your side, I don't think the defense is really going to change. That defense is good because of the talent, not because of it as a unit.
yeah.
For example, I'll give you an example. I think the Patriot unit is really good as a unit.
Mm-hmm.
Christian Gonzalez is obviously the star player,
Yeah.
and I think he'd be good anywhere. But that overall unit
Mm-hmm.
isn't the most star-heavy unit I've ever seen, right?
Yeah.
The Texans have a much more stud power. The 49ers have a higher stud power defense. But they are very good as a unit. So I'm not too... and I think the Broncos are like the 49ers, where they have very high star power. So teams that are good as a unit need that coaching that they've had. Teams that don't, obviously, teams that have that star power, obviously will benefit from having continuous coaching, but they're not going to be as reliant on it.
I mean, I think we'll see come the NFL season, but, the Broncos are just such a talented team. They have a veteran head coach. They have Bo Nix, who shined last year, kind of surprised a lot of people getting the number 1 seed. You have a bunch of these
I
guys.
don't have a veteran head coach who just got hired.
Sean Payton is not a veteran head coach.
Oh, you mean defensive. You mean head coach.
Yeah, head coach.
Okay.
Head coach.
Okay.
But,
Sean Payton's really good.
So, I think this team, it'll make the playoffs. I think they will, but it's going to be a down year. Like you said, their schedule is much tougher. This team is, it's going to be a little bit of
You had them at 12-5, right? Or am
I had them at 14-3.
Oh, a down year and doesn't
Well,
change.
okay, listen. It is going to be a down year.
Okay.
But, I have them going 14-3 just because I believe in Bo Nix.
Do you have okay? I'm gonna name off all these games, and you're gonna tell me the 3. I mean, you're going to look me in the eye and tell me that they lose 3. That they only lose 3 of these games. The Chiefs
win.
twice.
They win 1.
The Jaguars.
Win.
The Rams.
Lose.
The Chargers.
Win.
Twice. 49ers.
Okay.
Seahawks.
All right, so they'll lose.
The Panthers.
Yeah, they'll win. They'll win.
the Bills,
The only game that
the Patriots.
they're home against the Bills, right?
They're home. No, they're not home against the Bills. The home
So
against
White
the
is
Patriots.
White is away because they're playing Kansas City away.
Okay,
so
yeah,
home is
actually,
blue.
yes, you're correct. Sorry.
Bro, okay.
Okay, I apologize. The Bills.
They'll beat.
Okay,
They're at home against the Bills. Okay, fine. They'll split series against Chargers. They'll split series.
They're gonna look. They're gonna split series against the Chargers.
Mhm.
They're gonna split series with the Chiefs.
Yes, I agree. So that puts them at 2 losses. They'll beat the Bills, and their only 2 other losses are going to be to the Seahawks and the Rams.
The Seahawks, Rams,
That's
and then
13-4.
And then you think that they won't lose to the Patriots?
Yes, I think they
So
will.
you think that they're gonna?
Oh,
They're not home. They're away.
I don't care if they're home or away.
So let me get this straight. You don't care if they're home or away, but they beat the Bills
Okay.
because they're home. But when
Because
it's the Patriots,
Bills are a tougher team than the Patriots. You said it yourself this year. They're gonna have a better.
I think the Bills are going to win the division not because they're the better team, but because of the way that things worked out. I have them at the same record. I don't think the Bills are necessarily the better team, and I think that
I think they do.
who did the Bills lose to last year in the playoffs?
What?
Who did the Bills lose to last year? In the playoffs?
Broncos away. If they were
Who
at
did
home,
the Patriots beat?
I have known Bo Nix.
The
They
Broncos were
would've-
the Broncos were home.
You know, but if the Bills were home, I think it would have been a different outcome of that playoff game.
So without Bo Nix,
Mhm.
you really think Bo Nix would have made that throw that Jarrett Stidham made in the first quarter?
I don't care about that. I think Bo Nix.
That was the only touchdown of the game. That was the only touchdown of. That was the only.
But Bo
Broncos
Nix
touchdown.
would have produced more offense. They might have gotten more field goals. They might have got another touchdown. You know, I think
More
that.
field goals in that snow. You think you're kicking field goals?
Yes.
No, you're not.
Yes, bro. Andy Borgalis made a field goal in that snow. That's the only reason they won.
Yeah, because it was like a 10-yarder, 15-yarder.
I think that would have been the same. Maybe the same for the Broncos.
Actually, I'm pretty sure that field goal was before it was really snowy. And even if it wasn't, the Broncos are not scoring touchdowns. You really think... Excuse me. You really think...
Well, Bo Nix is a better quarterback than Jared Stidham. We all can admit that.
I agree with you, but I don't think that Bo Nix makes that throw. I think Jarrett Stidham has flashes
The
that I don't
Patriots-
see Bo Nix having. And I think that Jarrett Stidham made that throw. And I think there's no way that... Are you really going to tell me that Bo Nix will allow them to score to score 4 field goals to get over that Patriots? To get over the Patriots. You really think that? Plus,
Not field goal.
Plus,
I
you
think-
also have to consider the fact. Sorry for cutting you off, but you also have to consider the fact that if the Broncos are having more offense, that gives gives the Patriots offense more time to rest. Do you know how many 3-and-outs there were? Obviously, the offenses were getting tired, which was one of the reasons that a lot of points weren't being scored. So you have to put in all the factors, and if you account for all of them, with Bo Nix, they still lose that game. And you have to remember that the Patriots weren't fully healthy either. So if we go based on purely, I think that the Broncos have a ceiling of 12-5 and a floor of 8-9. I have them in the middle of that at 10-7.
Okay. All right. So now we'll do mine. My hot take is that Shohei Ohtani is the best MLB player of all time, and the only argument right now, and I'm going to just do this argument for the sake of time, is Babe Ruth, who I think everyone kind of agrees he's the best all time.
I don't agree with you on that.
Okay, well, for the sake of argument.
No, it's fine. We can just do based on that Shohei Ohtani's better than Babe Ruth.
So-
explain your argument.
My agreement is I'm not going to really look at the pitching because I'm not going to lie. You throw 100 one day, you'll be throwing 100 the next day. So that's how times were back in the freaking 50s. They didn't care if you got Tommy John surgery or not. They just didn't. That's just not how times work. We'll go to the hitting.
Babe Ruth didn't throw hundreds.
But
Babe Ruth is not.
he didn't, but he definitely pitched a lot more
Yeah, I know.
than Ohtani.
No one
did.
argues that.
So
Pitching's different now.
we're going to go Ohtani. So here we are. He has over, excuse me, I cannot be talking right now. Alright, so he has 3,900 at-bats. Babe Ruth has 3,400 at-bats with rounding. Because this is my argument right here, basically. So, if you double Shohei Ohtani's stats, he would, in theory, have everything better than Babe Ruth besides hits and runs. He would honestly... Okay, Ohtani, he's faster. He steals the ball a lot more. He doesn't strike out as much as Babe Ruth. He would probably have a better batting average. He would probably have a better OPS and slugging. He would have a better OPS plus. He would probably have more. Honestly, he would have more everything besides home runs because Babe Ruth is such a power hitter. He would have everything I said he would. I think he would have more MVPs, which he does now already. He already has more All-Stars, which I know that wasn't that big of a thing back then, but again, if you were to double Shohei Ohtani's stats, he would be such a much better player than Babe Ruth.
Okay, double the stats. Why are we doubling the stats of a player who has 5 more years left in his career? The guy is
But I'm just saying,
he's a machine. Don't get me wrong, but he also plays like he's also extremely fragile. I mean, the guy objectively has gone injured, and he plays two positions. He can
Exactly.
hit and pitch.
Babe Ruth, I mean, really, honestly, he pitched for quite a bit in his career. But
Yeah,
once he started getting older, he started just hitting the ball only, and that's when his peak.
So
of
you
his
can't
career
you
was.
can't double Otani's pitching stats because you can only double one of them. And even if you do, what you have to realize the fact is you can't double the pitching stats because pitching does get worse. Batting, that's not as big of a deal, obviously.
And Ohtani, sorry for cutting you off, but Ohtani's the only player to ever go 50-50, and we may not even ever see that again.
I mean, he did go 50-50, I won't lie, but at the end of the day, how much home runs does Babe Ruth have? Not Ohtani, even if you double it, isn't enough.
Yeah, no.
So let's assume that Ohtani keeps his pace, which I don't think he will because I think he's going to get
He's going to fall off, I agree.
So if he keeps his pace, that is, he has what, like 200 home runs right now?
Yeah.
Okay. If he keeps his pace, and he's been in the league...
Well, he'd actually had 287 right now.
287.
So he could be...
287, he's been in the league for what, 7 years?
Yeah.
Okay, so he doubles home runs. He still is only 2/3 of the way to Babe Ruth. Only 2/3. Even less than 2/3. It's like 2.5 out of 4.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't argue that Shohei will be better. And also, your claim was Shohei is already better than Babe Ruth, which objectively isn't true.
Which I'm going to... This is my second argument now. This is my second argument. He is better, I agree. However, what if you put Babe Ruth in our era? Pitchers throwing 100. Pitchers pumping 100. You are... Babe Ruth, maybe he would be your average player. I don't think... Pitchers were throwing 70. He was nuking it out of the park when pitchers were throwing 70. Nowadays, he tries playing... I just think he's going to be an average, everyday player. Final thoughts?
Yeah. You can't... There was less baseball games. That totally makes up for it. Less games to be played.
No, I mean, they're by, like, maybe 50.
50, yeah, wow. Wow, a third of a season. Wow, that's nothing.
Probably like 100. There's close to definitely over 100 games.
I'm not arguing that it wasn't a lot still, but it was less. So, what you have to remember is, what he lacked in competition, he made up for in time.
Yeah.
So, that's my argument. But that is the end of our episode.
Yep. Thank you all so much.
Yes, thank you all for watching, and we hope you have a great day.